Have you ever felt like you're playing a game with ever-changing rules in the dating world? Or maybe you've noticed that despite your best efforts, you're just not getting the results with women that you want? Well, if that's you, you'll want to tune into this week's episode of the Inner Confidence Podcast. We're here with my wife, Mariia.
Hi.
Thanks for being here, baby. And today we're going to dive deep into the world of modern dating. We're going to explore why so many men are finding it tough to connect with women and get dates. And we're going to break down the shifts in dating dynamics from the rise of online dating all the way through the changing expectations that women now have for men. So whether you're struggling to get noticed or you're just trying to understand the new norms, this episode is packed with insights that will help you level up your dating game.
You're listening to the Inner Confidence Podcast, home to the social funnel method. My name is Robbie Kramer. I've been a coach since 2007, and I've helped over 1,300 digital nomads, expats, and remote workers build an amazing social and dating life abroad. My mission is simple: to help you position yourself to meet stunning women and make awesome friends en route to becoming the most confident and attractive version you can be. I have an intense hatred for fluff and useless advice that you can't take action on, so tune in each week to learn the most effective and implementable strategies to level up your game. So stick around, let's go.
So first, let's talk about why men are having such a hard time with dating these days. I think the first reason is women are increasingly self-sufficient. Would you agree?
I think it's just hard to be a guy. I don't know. It's like, the guy does all the work. You need to approach, you need to look cool, you need to be whatever the girl wants you to be.
But I think women are really self-sufficient, meaning like they don't need men to provide for them financially as much now.
Why?
Because they're making a lot of money, especially in the West, right? Women make more than men.
Why would you do this?
Why would what to do that? Women?
You never want to make more than... I mean, obviously, with it happened, but like, why would you ever want to make more than your man?
You're from Ukraine, so you have a much more traditional, dating and gender roles. But here in America or in Western Europe, women are way more sufficient, and they don't really need men to provide for them financially, which changes the dynamics of dating.
That's why they find simps, because it's what the dynamics are.
Well, women are looking for partners.
How do you treat your man that earns so much less than you? It's just like so natural for women, right? No. The man is provider, and it's how it we build like that. I mean, obviously, it happens to be you're like married long time and now you earn more, and that's different. But when you just, I don't know, try to be like a boss and earn a lot of money, you're the one who is masculine, actually. So how can you find someone else who is masculine? It's like yin and yang. It's not gonna work. You need feminine and you need masculine. If you're masculine in a relationship, you're gonna find someone who is feminine.
Well, that's a problem with a lot of modern women, which I'm going to get into. Feminism has caused some of these problems, I think. But the second reason is that women are highly educated, and in most ways in the U.S. they're more educated and they're higher earning than a lot of men. And so along with being self-sufficient, women, they're out earning men, and this can lead to traditional dating roles that feel outdated, and they kind of leave men feeling unsure about where to fit in, which is what your point is, right?
But I thought that women are complaining here that they actually don't earn as much as men. So
of course they complain, but it doesn't mean it's true. I mean, on average, yes, I think men still earn more. But we're not going to get into that because we don't really have the data for sure.
We don't have the data. Sorry, guys. No data.
Really that it's making it harder because women are looking for more of a companion versus a provider these days, right? Whereas other places in the world that are less feminized, that are less kind of in the, called the Western way of thinking, they're looking for more of that provider role. So it's a little bit easier to go with what traditionally works. But now it's not traditional, and it confuses guys. Mm-hmm. The third reason why guys are struggling is the attention of women is concentrating on a smaller set of men. And this is a big one, because a small percentage of men are getting the majority of attention from women. About 5% of guys are getting 85% of the attention from women. And this leaves the other 95% of men feeling completely invisible.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And we're going to see that.
But I think it's all younger girls. If you see younger girls who are whatever 18 to like whatever 22, right? They're looking for someone who is like really hot, really tall, like have a six pack.
Well, that's what you have with online dating.
And it's what they're looking for. But if you're like more intelligent or older, you're more mature, yeah, correct, then you're looking actually for someone who is really kind to you, to people around the person, right? To like his family, someone who is just genuinely like a nice person, someone who is educated. You're looking for different criteria, right? Someone who succeeded in life or on the way to be successful. So that's what I think is attractive for women, right? Not just your looks, just the way how you behave and how you treat other people. And I don't know, I think that's more important than just the look.
You're more mature than a lot of the women on online dating sites. So, unfortunately, most women are looking for more sort of superficial things, at least in the beginning. But that's part of the challenge, right? So I think the fourth thing is that there's an erosion of community and institutions happening. Stuff like, church, synagogue, community events. They used to play a big role in the way that people kind of paired up. But with the decline of these institutions, finding a partner has become much more individualistic and challenging. And, that's just going to continue to happen.
No, I agree. And I think it's so sad. We always go to synagogue. We try to like celebrate all the holidays with your family. We have like a lot of like family occasions, and we just see your parents for dinner all the time. We have all those community things in our life, and like we do Shabbat every Friday, and I think it's what keeps us really how to say, I forgot the word, sorry. Like, tell me that word.
Connected?
Like connected, and like it makes us.
Those institutions are not playing a big of a role in people who are singles' life, so you're not meeting women through those channels as much, right?
And it's where you actually meet good people, in the church, those people are really good people.
You meet like-minded people with similar values.
Yeah.
And if you don't go to those things, or you have no social outlets for those organizations, then you don't meet those people, right? So that's number 4. Number 5 is the rise of online dating. And online dating has made it easier for women to focus their attention on that top 5% of men. And this has left many men without options, feeling completely locked out of the dating market. And let's look at a graphic to understand this better. This diagram shows the journey of profiles viewed to actual dates on a few of the various apps. Mm-hmm. And what this shows is out of 47,842 profiles this guy viewed, he right swiped 43,000, almost 500 times.
What is right swiped?
He indicated interest. He liked, right?
Okay.
So that's a lot of right swiping. Out of all of those 43,000, only 298 matches were made from those right swipes. And out of those matches, only 22 led to more than 5 messages back and forth. Ultimately, he only got 2 dates, and both times he got stood up, so the girl didn't show up.
Oh my God, poor guy.
Most matches didn't respond, 216. 27 were bots or had less than 5 messages exchanged, 23 of those. And a staggering 43,198 profiles were rejected.
But how did the man look? Was what he was on the scale?
This was a very sort of like normal looking guy.
Like 6?
Yeah. Not a bad looking guy at all. With his shit together.
Okay.
So this is illustrating the significant drop off at each stage, and it's showing how challenging it is to move from a match to a meaningful interaction. So, when you look at these sorts of things, you're like, who's succeeding online? And it goes back to what we said.
Our friend, remember?
Well, that's a totally different subject.
He just got so many matches.
Yeah, that's a different podcast.
No, but you say who, and I'm responding
that's
to
true,
you. Gays.
Yeah. If they're really hot, right?
He is,
yeah.
So.
But yeah, it's that 5%, right? That's to be competitive with online dating. You have to look like Brad Pitt, because there's a lot of guys who do, and they're getting all the matches. Yeah.
But also the thing that I don't understand why men are really concentrated on, those apps, because like I truly believe in this statistic that it's accurate, in the way that like women don't really care. They just, you broke up with your boyfriend. First thing you do, I will go to like, to create my profile in the whatever app, right? And you need this, not like you want to meet anyone just for validation. You want to see all those people, right, swiping you or whatever, right? And you're like, all those guys are interested in me and I'm gonna reject them all because like, I'm better, whatever. You just make yourself feel better after, someone like ditch you or whatever.
Well, that's unfortunately what a lot of women use the apps for. They just want validation.
Yeah, you got the validation, and after in your whatever social event with your friends, you meet another guy, and now you're again dating. So like you're not even gonna respond to all those people. You just had it for like 2 weeks when you felt bad and you needed validation.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't understand why men concentrate on those apps.
Because it's the low-hanging fruit. It's really easy to take out your phone and swipe. It creates the effect of being at a slot machine, like in a casino.
But you're losing all the time. Why would you do that?
Because you're lazy and you don't have a better way. So we're gonna get into the better way in a second, but it's addictive, right? It's really addicting to do that.
I would never do that.
If these apps wouldn't be so popular if people didn't use them. They're hijacking, your brain for various different reasons. It's releasing all these chemicals when you're swiping, and when you get a match, you're getting dopamine hits, and it doesn't matter that it doesn't work.
But we just look at that statistic. It didn't work.
If people were logical, right? It's like, why do people smoke cigarettes knowing that they're bad for you? They do.
Okay.
All right. So that's number 5. The reason number 6 why guys are struggling so much is there's a shame and a taboo around seeking help. As guys, we feel ashamed and we feel kind of burdened by ego when it comes to seeking help with dating. And society has really like stigmatized men asking for help, whether it's meeting women, going to therapy, or anything else. It's just like something that you're not supposed to talk about as a guy, or do.
Actually, no, I want to come back to you said that, I'm from Ukraine and more like kind of, traditional country, right? But the thing that like in our countries, guys like, you're tough, men don't cry, and all those things. And I think in like some way it's correct. You need to be provider, you need to be strong, you need to take care of your family. But in the same way, we're all humans, we all have emotions. It's like you can be a provider and you still have emotions and you still need help sometimes, right? So like I think there is like no middle ground. Here in the US, you see a lot of men like, on antidepressants, and they're so weak and they don't know what to do. That's really bad. And like, some more traditional countries, like you don't cry, you don't share emotions, So I think it should be like a middle ground to this, where you still can stay a strong man, a provider, and like all those things, but still be able to feel that you can share your emotions and you can like get to help that you need.
Yeah, it's challenging because it's very hard to find that middle ground, and society hasn't really made it okay for guys to do that.
Yeah.
Right. So that's reason number 6. Reason number 7. Male desire is always sexual first. Maybe not always, but often at least, because we experience sexual attraction first, and then we develop an emotional attachment second. Unless you're falling in love at first sight, in which case you've seen too many Disney movies and you need to slow your roll a little bit. But this can really make men gravitate towards sexualized imagery, which doesn't really align with genuine connection, right? It's like we see tits and ass and we're immediately right, and that causes a little bit of problem. Women aren't nearly.
I was actually watching like a meme video about, there was like a woman like, oh my god, man, have you ever for like many years in the marriage got tired of like joking about your wife's boobs or like touching her boobs or like, and man was just responding on this like, I've been married to my wife for 30 years and you know what, I like did touch them every single day and like I didn't get tired. So obviously he said it in like really funny way that I don't really remember it, but it was like
you had to be there. Anyways, Look, number 8. Reason why guys are struggling is society looks down on men helping each other, which is absurd. And when men try to help each other, like with online dating coaching or not just online, through dating coaching, it's often seen as negative. And this narrative is that men are just trying. The narrative is that men are just trying to play women rather than genuinely seeking loving connection. It's like, oh, those guys are, that's something that women accuse me of, not very often, but maybe behind my back. Like, oh, you just got a group of these guys and you're just a bunch of players. And it's like, no, these are guys who genuinely, some of them, of course, they want to have their amazing sort of like bachelor lifestyle, but no one's doing it in a way to like con women or trick women or anything like that. But that's how women view men helping each other. It's like a bunch of guys trying to.
Right. I don't understand who viewed them. I've never seen a woman like that.
You haven't met a lot of Western women. Good for you. But that's really a thing. So number 9, it's hard to find help. Finding help as a man is tough because of the taboos in society that we just discussed. And even ad networks and payment processors shy away from supporting men's dating resources to avoid controversy. Like for me, even setting up my merchant bank, right, and having to explain like what my company is for, I had to, use all sorts of politically correct language because they wouldn't want to provide services for any sort of group of men helping men. So it's, it's a big problem.
But you remember even, I don't know why it came to my head, that potential client that signed up with you, he really needed help. He paid you, like, get the transaction. And after next day, his brother was like,
you don't need that, bro.
You don't need that, bro. Like, he's just scamming you for money or like, blah, blah, blah. And like, his own brother didn't want him to get help. He want to save money and his brother is married with the kids.
Right.
So like he would rather have money and have his brother be miserable, not be able to even speak to a woman. And it's like, it's not only women do this, like men do this to like their closest, like.
Yeah. Well, guys like that, like this sort of macho man.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, why would you need coaching? Just be a man, And it's like, well, that worked for him because he had, different role models growing up and he was kind of like the older brother figure. But the younger brother, who was actually a referral, from a very close family friend.
Yeah.
Right. And actually, they were family and our close family friends. And so even then, knowing that there's no possible way that it could be a scam.
Yeah.
He was still against
No,
it.
he just didn't want to pay the money, and he didn't. How can you not want your brother be happy when you 100% know it's not a scam? And
well, he doesn't believe in the process. He thinks, oh, you can just be confident, bro. And
okay,
that doesn't
easy
work.
to say.
Exactly. The 10th reason is that good men struggle to stand out, and by quote good men, I mean
stand out. What do you mean?
They don't get noticed because the dating market doesn't really showcase their value. You can't do that in like an online dating profile. It's very hard to showcase that you're like a good guy, and their qualities go beyond looks, which makes it tough to get noticed. Right. So it's like, if
no one is going to look for you unless you look hot. They're not going to like, it's just like, don't use it. It's stupid.
Yeah. All right. Number 11, internet porn sets unrealistic standards. And internet porn is everywhere. It sets these standards that are really like hard to meet, totally unrealistic, and men find themselves unable to meet these standards, leading to frustration and disappointment. Right? They've got this picture and their idea of what all of this stuff should be, and it just doesn't quite work out that way.
Maybe you will stop watching porn and will go and do something with your life.
All right, that's not helpful either. All right, number 12, attractive women have higher standards. And attractive women often have inflated standards because they've been exposed to high status men. They're on Instagram, and it makes it really hard to compete if you're the average guy. And women kind of get stuck on their highest setting.
Oh, it's what I was just wanted to tell you. Like if like she like or dated once or slept once with someone who is like, 9, right? Now she thinks that she deserves.
Well, let's say she went to an after party and there was like an NBA professional there, right? And she hooked up with him, right? Maybe just to be crass, she gave him a blowjob in like the in whatever, and or maybe they hooked up, right? And now she thinks, oh, my next boyfriend has to be an NBA player. It's like
not just NBA, but someone his level of
exactly.
success.
And it's like, girl, you didn't date that guy. He just banged you at a party. But that's her new setting, and now she's stuck on that setting. So she meets a good guy, right, in some other way, and she's like, no, he's beneath me.
No, but it's also a problem for a woman because she's gonna be like chasing that guy till she's like 40, and after no one will want her, even those good guys that wanted her initially. So that's like sad for both sides.
It is, yeah. Number 13, social media provides endless validation, and it gives women, an easy way to line up potential dates, and it makes it makes them way less likely to invest in one man because there's always that better option. Number 14,
it's only good if better option is you.
The next problem is that all of these trends that we're talking about don't really have any clear solutions. They're accelerating. There's not a clear way for men to get help, and this can make the whole dating scene feel completely hopeless. So let's now talk about what you can do, right? We talked about all the reasons why it's tough, and obviously you probably know it's tough or you wouldn't be watching this podcast. So what can you do?
Oh, guys.
All right.
Let's unite.
First thing you can do is you can focus on self-improvement, and you can work on becoming the best version of yourself. This means getting in shape, improving your social skills, building a fulfilling life. And I mean, I feel like that's pretty obvious. Again, you wouldn't be watching this podcast, but you should always be focused on how you can make yourself into the most sexy version that women want, right? Number 2 is expand your social circle and get involved in activities and communities that interest you, right? Actually go out and do things. Don't just sit online. Don't just play video games. Get out into the world, have hobbies, join some different clubs and communities, and this is going to help you meet new people and really increase the odds of finding a partner. The third thing is seek help when needed. Don't be afraid to seek help, whether it's through therapy or coaching or talking to friends. There's no shame in wanting to improve your dating life. Number 4 is understand the new dating dynamics. And you got to recognize the dating landscape has changed. You got to adapt to the new norms while staying true to your values. And I want to show another graphic here just to kind of showcase these dynamics better. All right.
Slut zone. Oh my God, I love it.
We have female access to dick versus male access to poon by age.
Poon?
Pussy. Vagina.
Poon?
Yeah,
I've never heard that.
Silly old school way of saying.
Oh my God.
So you can see with the female access line, it peaks in the early 20s. It starts to decline after 27. For male access, it
25.
gradually increases and peaks in the mid 30s to early 40s. And this graphic divides the dating age ranges into 3 zones. There's the slut zone, where females have the highest access to males from ages 15 to 27. There's the marriage zone, access for both genders is balanced from ages 27 to 30. Then there's the player zone. Males have higher access from age 30 to 49. And this really helps explain why younger women might have an easier time dating, while men find their dating prospects improving as they get older. And when I saw this graph, I think it was 32, 31, and I had never seen like something that rang more true to me. Because in my, teenage years and throughout my 20s, even though I was studying like online dating advice and reading all the books and trying to become like this pickup artist and trying to really improve my chances with women, like I struggled badly in my 20s. It was really hard. I had some girlfriends and some, but it was very hard to get dates. And when I compared myself to the girls my age, like they were having such an easy time, and I didn't really understand why.
Because they're girls, they don't do anything.
They're
they
hot,
just
exactly.
get approached.
Yes, but as a guy, and you don't think about that. You're just like, okay, well, I'm 20, 22, and she's 22, and in college, in university, it's a little bit more even because you're kind of in this bubble, and people date their own age.
No, but
then as soon as you get out of university, then you see the girls at your age dating like rich, successful older men. And you don't see young guys dating rich, successful older women very often, unless you're like a celebrity. It
happens, but yeah, if it's a celebrity. Yeah. But I think just the problem is that the women more mature than men
Yeah, they mature earlier. Or they physically mature earlier, right?
No, and they just like, like when you like, I had my first relationship when the guy was 2 years older than me. So we started dating when I was 16 and we broke up when I was 18. And like, we would go to his place and his mom cooks for him. Like she leaves him like,
he's still a boy.
Like everything packed and like, and we would like, I would stay over and obviously it was his mom there too. But, if she's not there, he's like, oh, I have nothing to eat. I'm like you can cook. And he would be like, I don't know how. And it's like,
yeah, you're dating a boy.
Man, you're like, I cannot date you. It's ridiculous. And like, it would always be like, Mom, what should I do? How should I get that? I moved to different city to study. I was living in dormitory. He wanted to move with me, but like he moved there for a month and he couldn't hold to be without his mom cooking for him. And he moved back. Like
mama's boy,
and it's like what happens to a lot of, and it's not bad, you will overgrow them, but like just later than women. So that's why in that age, a lot of women don't want to date those boys.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's like if you're a 23-year-old, right, and you date like a rich, really attractive 33-year-old, why would you date a 25-year-old? You wouldn't. Right? Because you're like, this guy's mature. He's got his life together. He can do like amazing things for us with all of his resources. So it's, again, you get stuck on that higher setting. And for guys, it takes us until like our early 30s to get to a place where we kind of have like our career on, going in the right direction. We have some money in the bank. And I remember when I was like 32, I saw this graph and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Because for a little while I was thinking like, oh, all my friends are getting married. I'm too late to the game. Like I'm too old. I'm missing out. And then I saw this graph. I'm like, wow, this is really true. And my 30s were like the most insane sort of Playboy era. Like, I mean, you heard, stories about that, obviously, but like I was able to, she says that with the disapproving look, but I was able to like basically have money, have resources, and enjoy life as a single man with resources. I think every man on the planet should be able to have that experience because a mentor of mine said, listen, man, you need to be single with money for a period of your life to really like enjoy that period of your life. Because I know so many guys who got married early and they didn't do that, and they got divorced because they felt like they were missing out, and a whole
no,
other
but that's only if you're feeling that you're missing out.
Exactly.
Your parents got married when they were how old? Like,
well, it's a different generation, but yes, obviously, if you don't feel like that,
it still happens right now.
Of course,
if you meet someone in the church,
they're
as
successful
we
married, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the average situation. Right?
Yeah, but I just say that there are still situations that you can meet love of your life and be whole life together.
Of course.
But it's more rare right now.
And again, if you're watching this, you're not that. that couple's not watching this podcast, I promise you. If you're feeling like you're too old, you're not. Even if you're in your early 50s.
I don't even agree with this. I think it's more higher for men for longer.
It stays. Yeah.
It stays for longer. I think it stays.
We have a friend who's in his 60s and he's crushing.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good looking and he's really taking care of himself, like eating healthy and like all those things. So
of course, you have to remain competitive, but you can. A woman in her 60s cannot, like, this guy is dating, girls in their early 20s.
My age, yeah.
Exactly. And
he's crushing. Like, they love him.
If you're a 65-year-old, if you're the same age woman, you're not going to be able to build a rotation of young, hot 22 or 23-year-old guys. Maybe if you're Christy Brinkley or something, or a celebrity.
But it's like so rare.
Yeah,
so rare.
It's just not. Yeah, but the point is, if you're feeling too old, you're not too old. Especially if you're in your 30s or 40s, you are good.
Even 50s. Don't feel old. You're not.
You're not.
You're like 42. You're already on the 50s age. How to say edge? No.
All right, whatever. If that's the
You're
edge.
the middle age.
The fifth way that guys can improve is, this is not going to be a shock to most people, but build confidence. And you've probably heard the phrase, just be confident a million times, right? But what does that even mean? Like, it's one of those meaningless things influencers say because it's not actionable. You can't easily implement that advice. So how do you actually build confidence, which is the most attractive thing to women? I believe that confidence comes from competence, and competence comes from training. You want to be a golfer brimming with confidence? Well, you could buy a bunch of expensive equipment and clothing, and you could pose like one.
No, you're going to look like a hack.
Well, exactly. A scratch golfer like myself, we're going to see you in the parking lot, and I'm going to instantly know, even by the way that you're carrying your golf bag, that you're a total noob and a poser.
Am I good carrying my golf bag?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You don't look like a noob.
Okay.
And, obviously you could do that and it'd be a start and you're going to fool other noobs, but you ain't fooling anyone who knows golf. And the same is true with women, right? The hottest women are going to spot a dude trying to fake it from a mile away. But hey, the not as hot women may not detect it. So you work your way up and you fake it till you become it, except maybe don't buy all the expensive equipment and fashion just yet, right? So the key to improving anything is getting educated on the subject, following the footsteps of people who have succeeded, and then immersing yourself in it by joining a community of people who are like-minded and they're on the same path. And with golf, that's pretty easy, right? You join a club.
I wish we joined the club.
Not a private club. You join like a local club. You get some lessons, right?
No,
like,
I want private.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't want that, right? And so golf or learning another skill, right? There's very easy to find resources. But with women, it's much more difficult due to all the reasons that we discussed, right? And I want to show you exactly how I can make this happen. And
show us.
So you already know, but the getting educated part's easy. You need to understand the concepts of what women want. You need to look the part, good body language, with fashion. You need to understand the signals that women are giving you of attraction and interest, and you need to be able to read her investment levels.
With fashion, you can just wear All Saints like Robbie all day long.
Subscribe to All Saints.
Everywhere. Like 5 the same shirts.
I subscribe to the minimalist approach, right? But this is a big one. So you need to understand women's investment levels and how much to invest in when. And it's probably the reason why guys screw up the most. They don't even realize it. They're invested way too early because, like I said, we're visual creatures, and this scares a lot of really good potential leads off. Next, you need to choose the best strategy for getting new leads. And I like to think of the dating process as kind of like a sales and marketing funnel because, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. The product is you instead of a widget that you're selling.
Okay.
And if you want to build an online dating funnel and meet women through the apps, you really need to leverage the power of social media. And by social media, I really mean Instagram. I see so many guys trying to use online dating who don't even have Instagram. And you basically have very little chance of winning this way because online dating is Instagram, no matter how much you don't want that to be true. Would you agree?
No, I agree. And the thing that you're competing with, you cannot even compete. You really, if you want to do online dating, you need to get like a professional but lifestyle photo shoot. You need to look your best, and still you're not going to be really successful in online dating. You can't even
get that. You can't even find a professional lifestyle shoot because professional photographers don't know how to do that unless they specialize in dating.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, because you need to make it look like it's not set. No, yeah, but I know how to do that, right? You need to make it look like it just happened to be one of your friends made a picture. Right. It's just not set up, right? And it's what shows that you have an amazing social life, because when it's just like a setup photo shoot, you look like a fucking idiot, because why would ever you get the photo shoot for what?
Yeah.
No, but if it's, you're in a circle of friends laughing by the fire pits, it looks like, you had some event and one of the friends made a picture. It looks so amazing, and people
it looks
girls
organic, it looks natural.
Girls can see oh, he has all those friends. He looks so cool. He's doing all those events. He's going there, some amazing picture from a cool terrace or cool
so what you're saying
cool
is it's hard.
Bar.
It's hard. Okay. So
it's hard, but yeah, it's hard.
It's hard. Okay. If you don't want to use online dating, you really have to be able to approach women in ideally social situations like bars, festivals, clubs, social events that you go to, or you need to focus on building a solid social circle and using that as a means to meet women. And the other way is you can approach women in non-social environments, like, in a Starbucks or walking down the street. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my favorite ways because they're not expecting it. And it can be a way to stand out amongst all the other guys. But the beauty is you only need one of these funnels to work, right? Maybe you're great at meeting women, in these non-social environments. They call that day game within the dating community. Or maybe you're great at the bars or the festivals, or maybe you're great online. Because you just need one. And once you have consistent leads, well, then you need to be able to text them, which is a lot more tricky. Exactly. It's a lot more tricky because digital communication is radically different from face-to-face. What works in a face-to-face conversation does not really work over text. And it quickly leads to guys getting flaked on or ghosting, misconnections. And then if you do get the date, you need to have a killer dating strategy. And that's actually the easiest part of all this. It's really easy to run a date if you're not doing what the standard guy is doing, which is go to dinner, try to kiss her after dinner, try to take her home and bang her. Like, if you're doing that, which you probably are, don't do that.
Dinner, no one is going to kiss you.
Exactly. But most guys are doing dinner dates. And then let's say you got all that handled. You need to have an awareness of red flags and make sure you don't choose the wrong partner. You need to know what to watch out for. And then you need to be able to create that relationship on your terms. And that's if you're just looking for, monogamy, for example. But if you're looking for something else, if you want to be a playboy, if you want to have casual relationships, it's a little bit.
No, I think if you want to be a playboy, first you need to be able to pull a girlfriend. Like, if you cannot pull a girlfriend, you cannot be a playboy.
Exactly.
It's like, first you need to learn that. And after, if you feel more comfortable that you can have all girlfriends you want, or at least, a lot of them are going to be with you if you want to, then you can be a playboy.
Well, it's kind of a catch-22, or I guess it's kind of ironic because 100 out of 100 guys I talk to, 99 out of 100 guys I talk to, when I say, tell me what you're looking for, what do you want? I say, actually, don't tell me, let me guess. You want to have maximum fun being single, and if that perfect, the one comes along, then you want to be able to land that girl. And they all say, yeah, that's what I want, right? And there's the one out of the other 100 who's like, no, I just want a girlfriend right now. And I explained to him that that's probably a bad goal because you need to be objective about the partner you choose. And if you're just like seeking like desperately that one girlfriend, it's going to be such a turnoff. You're not going to get someone of really high quality that you can probably land if you slow your roll and build yourself into a better guy. So, if you want to find one woman, it's not quite as tricky, but you better know what to look for because choosing wrong is literally the worst mistake you can make. Nothing dictates your future happiness more than your partner. If you sucked, baby, my life would be terrible. Luckily, you don't.
Thank you.
Let me tell you about one of our community members, John. You know John. We're using an alias because we don't want to reveal his true identity, but we'll call him John. And he did everything I outlined, and he saw incredible results. And John came to us feeling frustrated with his dating life. And despite being successful professionally, he wasn't really getting the results with women that he wanted. Went to a really amazing university.
Joe.
It rhymes with Schmarvard. And, he decided to join the community and follow the steps I mentioned earlier. And the first thing that we helped him do was building his online profiles and Instagram. We started by optimizing his dating profiles, optimizing his Instagram. We took new photos for him, showed him how to get some new photos himself.
Make pictures with the dog. All girls love dogs, so...
Yeah, we got him some dog photos with our dogs, actually. And he took the new photos. He learned how to pose. He learned how to dress better. And he understood the importance of a good social media presence.
Who said that our dog died because of the... another client, remember? So the girl asked another client about where is that dog that's on your picture, and he said he's dead. Don't do that.
Yeah. So whether you have photos or not, like we can tell you where to take them, what selfie stick / tripod to get. All right. So that was step one. Step two is using proven scripts for messaging. The next thing we did is we provided John with our tested scripts for messaging women online. because trying to come up with witty one-off lines, it just doesn't work. And like, stop trying to reinvent the wheel with online dating. The scripts we use have been tested and way more effective than anything else out there. You can see right here, we've got a marriage script, we've got a weaknesses script, and we've got screenshots to show you exactly what to do with all that. How to build your profile, openers. This is a very, how to write your bios, hinge prompts. We've got a group of 50 guys optimizing and refining them each and every week, right? Because we're all using them and we're all improving on them all the time. You're just not going to beat us. And we are the competition. Good luck beating a group of 50 dudes who are like, trying to optimize this. And rather than try to beat us, just join us. Use the scripts. You'll start to get leads, and we'll show you how to turn those leads into dates. Now, if you don't want to use online dating or you want to supplement online dating, I really suggest approaching women in your everyday life. And John was a beast with this stuff. Obviously, at first, he had a ton of anxiety. Couldn't do it, was terrified to do it.
I don't remember him having anxiety. He was so good since I remember him.
Yeah, well, we did a lot of work with him. But what happens when you approach women is you get desensitized to rejection. He followed the exact playbook that we provided. And these aren't canned or cheesy pickup lines. They're a formatted conversation structure. And it really allows you to, first of all, like, stop a girl who's really intimidating, and then flirt with her, how to never run out of things to say, and have a fun and flirty conversation that leads to a date. And what John did was he posted recordings of him even doing this, some audio, some video, in our Discord server, where we gave him feedback on his flirting skills, on his body language, on his presence, on his tonality. And he even used our approach tracking tool, which I'll show you. This is where I really geeked out. And I had one of the guys in the group design a dating tracker. So I went to great lengths to develop this technology. This is a dating tracker. And what this does is anytime you're out approaching women, it geolocates you and it creates an entry whenever you do an approach. So this user, who he calls himself Wizard of Bras, what happens? You approach a girl. Let's say her name's Mariia. You type Mariia and a short description of how the approach went. If you got her contact info, you put in either her Instagram or her phone number, or you can even designate if it's WhatsApp or Telegram. And the location, the number of girls in the group, if it was just one or if it was a group of 2 or 3, what you think her age is, and then you pick one of these options. Did you get her Instagram, her number? Did you go on a date with her? Did you kiss her? And did you hook up? And what it does is it creates an entry here in the database, and you can see this user. I'm scrolling too fast, but he's got hundreds and hundreds of approaches logged. And then the cool thing is it gives you stats on the bottom here. And the number, the black line indicates a guy who's incredibly good at approaching women, during the day in these non-social environments. And that's basically par, right? To be to shoot par in golf, you have to be a scratch golfer. You have to be incredibly good. So this guy is pretty good, and you can see how you can see where his sticking points are. And I can change this to, I guess, highest. And this will show me where he is good and needs the most work. It looks like agreed to a date. So she's responding to texts above par, but she's agreeing to a date less, which means his texting is really good, but he's probably getting some pity numbers. So this really allows me to tell like where my client's sticking points are. And it's just kind of a fun tool because you can see your progress. You can identify these areas for improvement. We even have a leaderboard in the community, and it motivates you to take more action. The fifth thing is gaining personalized advice. And we have these organized girl advice threads. And these provided John with personalized support for each woman that he met. And he received real-time feedback on his interactions, which helped him make better decisions. And you could even post screenshots of your texts. You can post your dating profile in there, or Instagram. And we literally helped him every step of the way. Let me show you what those look like. So
remember we were listening to his audio recording on his date
yeah.
when he took girl over to his place.
So within our Discord, basically you go into Discord and you find the getting to a date pretext intervention hotline. And let's say you want to start an entry for a new girl. You hit new post and you make a title of her name, her relative age, and how you met her. Maybe it was on Tinder, maybe it was on Hinge, maybe it was through your social circle, maybe it was through seeking arrangements, maybe it's through Instagram, maybe Night Game, maybe through a photo shoot. So the beauty of those threads is we can literally help you every step along the way. You post a screenshot of the conversation and you wait for either myself or one of our other moderators to respond, say this, or take her there on a date. You know, don't say what you were suggesting to say, and you learn that way. That's the best possible way to learn at anything, is having a coach and a group of guys supporting you every step along the way in all of these micro decisions. The next thing that John did was he participated in our weekly calls, and these are over Zoom, and these calls are for various, different topics that we have each week. He discussed his goals, his mindset, his challenges. They provide accountability and support, making sure he stayed on track. On Sunday, we have a weekly accountability call where he picked a goal and we held him to it. Let me show what that looks like. So every Sunday, we do this accountability call, and really simple. We pick a goal for that week. So my goal, for this week is expand my systems deck and record a podcast, which I'm doing right now, actually. So my goal is obviously business related because I'm married. And if I accomplish that goal, I'm going to come in here on Sunday and I'm going to hit did it. And I'm going to give myself one of those, right? Let's say I didn't do the goal. I would say didn't even try, or I need help. And I would give myself a womp, womp, womp. So this creates an incredible amount of accountability. And make sure you're working on the exact right things and doing it in a fun way. So a bunch of guys holding each other to
I've heard that many guys showed up on recent calls. How many of them were there?
The biggest turnout we've had was like 20 out of the 50 guys in the group.
Amazing.
Because a lot of the guys in the group are like graduates, black belts, so they don't really come on the calls very often, but they occasionally poke their head in to help out or network or
Amazing.
Meet up with the other guys. So that's on Sundays. On Monday, we do a inner game call, which is essentially therapy, where we discuss our mindsets, our challenges, our demons, and we really help support each other and move through those demons. On Thursday, we have our online dating and Instagram. And I kind of call it, as a joke, the online dating troubleshooting hotline, where we kind of use our collective brain to optimize our messages, to improve our profiles. We even will pull up girls' stories and help each other respond with funny stuff to stay top of mind. And it's really just about helping each other get unstuck. So the other thing that John did was he really got to know the other members, and he came to the meetups that we do. We usually do between 2 and 4 a year in various different places.
John does many meetups.
John was on many meetups.
John is crushing pretty hard.
Yeah, he went to festivals with the guys in the group. During those meetups, we created social media content. John is having
really good life, guys. You need to meet John.
John's crushing. John. And we did these events. We do these events all over. We've had some in Berlin. We've had some in Kiev before the war, obviously.
We had here in LA. We had in Mexico.
We had in Austin, Texas. We had in Rio de Janeiro.
In Germany, in Berlin.
Yeah, I said that one. We also did one in South America. We did Bangkok and Bali. So we pick a spot where there's a bunch of guys and we want to hang out and have a good time, and that's where we do it. And during this time, John and the other guys, they strengthen their connections within the community and they enhance their social skills. And once John became proficient in online dating and approaching women, he was able to set up a cool rotation of girls in his city. So John had the confidence and the skills to date women both casually and if he wanted to do it one-on-one, which he hasn't, or exclusively monogamously, which he hasn't at this point. He's a young guy. He really wanted to live out his bachelor fantasies. He wanted to date models. He wanted to feel like a king. So he built a social circle of key wingmen and befriended a ton of hot girls. And this social funnel, which I like to call it, allowed him to network with tons of attractive women. And he never had to worry about getting friend zoned because he'd already kind of done that hunting with the online dating and the approaching. And he kind of passed that threshold. And his transformation has been impressive. And eventually he moved in with 3 other members, and they moved to a undisclosed city in Eastern Europe. And they've been building an amazing social circle together, hosting events, attending events, and they're supporting each other's growth. And his journey really shows that building confidence and achieving dating success is possible with the right education, with the right community support, and with consistent action. So if his story resonates with you, consider joining our community. I don't take most people because I really need to make sure the group doesn't have any like bad apples. It's a small group for a reason, and I need to keep it highly curated because obviously we're sharing the most intimate details of our lives. And if I let one D-bag in, then it really undermines the rest of the group. But if you think it could be a good fit, you can apply at innerconfidence.com/community. And there's a video there on how to build that social funnel. And the link will also be in the show notes. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. Modern dating is challenging, but understanding the reasons behind these challenges and taking proactive steps can really make a big difference. Remember, it's all about improving yourself, staying genuine, being persistent. So thanks for tuning in.
If you're a nice guy, we will teach you everything else. Just be nice and kind. That's it.
We help nice guys out all the time to stop being inauthentic nice guys, you could say. So anyways, baby, thank you for being on the podcast.
I think it was useless, but...
Completely useless.
I'm sorry.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're a regular listener and you're digging our content, do me a favor, leave us a 5-star review. It's how other people learn about the show and how we can spread the word. If you don't feel like it's worthy of 5 stars, just go ahead, don't leave any review at all. And I want to let you know that we've opened up a few slots in our exclusive community. We're accepting applications to join our select group of men and experience the radical power of accountability, step up your game, cross everything off your sexual bucket list, and become a beast at accomplishing all of your goals. To learn more and apply, go to innerconfidence.com/community.